everybody. This video is going to be a little different. It's not quite a vlog. I forgot to film on Thursday when I went to the doctor's, and so I figured it would be best to come on here and give you guys an update of what she said, because it's actually quite a bit of information that we went over and talked about, and there's some new developments that are kind of we're in the works of doing. So let's see. Okay, on Thursday, March, I don't know, whatever day Thursday was, last week, I went to see my naturopath, Dr. Rose Martin. She's brilliant. I love her. She is one of those doctors that legitimately takes time to listen to you and tries to get to the root of the problem. Isn't just like, oh, well, I think you have this, so here, take this medication and do this and do that. You know, she's a very, very good doctor, very thorough, very, really truly cares about her patients, which unfortunately there's not a lot of those kind of doctors out there anymore, and it's very, very sad. But you know, when you find a good one, you definitely got to keep them. So anyways, I went to see her, and I had this whole huge list of things that I wanted to talk about, because one of my main things I deal with is brain fog, which is also like memory loss. And every time I go to the doctor, unless I bring a list, I will leave there, and as soon as I leave, I remember like 5 things that I was going to talk to them about. So I go there, I talk to her about all the things on my list, and I'm kind of going over like some of the symptoms and things that I've been dealing with. I told her about my heart, seeing the cardiologist, and that sort of thing. And I've been doing a lot of research on something called POTS. It's something tachycardia syndrome. I'll put the definition here. But yeah, I can't think of it at the top of my head, but it's just called POTS, and it's basically a I believe it's a condition of your nerves and your heart, because it doesn't allow your blood to flow correctly. Like, it basically means your heart rate is too high and your blood pressure is too low, and it can actually, people who have it can have fainting spells quite a bit from it. So anyways, I've been doing research into that and thinking, okay, this is something that I wanted to bring up with my doctor, because I'm having a lot of the symptoms. While I don't actually pass out or faint, I do have incidences where I basically am feeling extremely faint, or I am feeling extremely like I'm gonna pass out, or there have been times where like I've had to sit down in the middle of the store, because if I didn't sit down right then, I felt like I was gonna pass out. So these are things that, you know, while I haven't passed out, I've gotten pretty dang close to it. And I throw up a lot and like, or get really, really nauseous when I have procedures and stuff done, which I always notice my heart rate goes really high when I have that, and I get really dizzy. And my mom always says she can tell that I'm not feeling well, because my lips, I mean, they're pretty pale as is, right? They go ghost white. Like, it's like you can't even tell that I have lips anymore. And she's always like, that's when I know you're not feeling well, is because your lips turn white. And then after, like, I'm kind of over the initial, like, wave of the nausea or whatever, my lips, the color of my lips come back. So that's kind of how we know that, yeah, you're about ready to pass out, or you're about ready to puke, is because your lips have no color. So anyways, all that said, I was talking about my symptoms. Now, I did not mention POTS to her at all. I was going to. I was going to bring it up and say, hey, you know, I think I might have this. But before that, I was just kind of telling her why I was going to the cardiologist, the symptoms I was having, all that sort of thing. And she kind of just looks at me and she's like, you might have POTS. And I was like, wow, that's really crazy, because I was legitimately just going to ask you if that's something that I might have. So it's kind of like confirms to me that, like, yes, I probably do have it, because she brought it up without me even mentioning the word at all. My symptoms, listing my symptoms off to her first thought, that's what it went to, was POTS. So yeah, so the goal, or the plan is to go back to the cardiologist, and when I do see the cardiologist, I will I will talk to them about getting tested. I'm basically going to make them test me for POTS because they didn't mention it when I talked to them. But then again, they did not have my heart monitor test or my echo then. So we'll see. If they don't bring it up at my next appointment, I'm definitely going to be like, I want you to test me for this. And if you don't test me, then I'm going to go to someone else who will, because I've had way too many incidences in my past where I go to a doctor and I'm like, I think this is what's wrong with me. I want you to test me for it. And they're like, oh no, you're fine. You don't have this problem. I'm not going to test you for it. There's no need, blah, 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 blah. And I go to another doctor and they're like, yeah, sure, we'll test you. Test me. Guess what? I have that condition, or I have that problem. Well, the other doctor is like, you definitely don't have it. I'm not even going to test you because I'm a doctor and I know everything. And it's like, no, you don't know everything. And actually, I'm the one who lives with my body, so I think I would know my body better than you know my body. Just saying. Again, not all doctors are like this, but I've run into a few that are just like, if they don't think of it themselves, then it must not be. It can't exist. Like, I had one doctor literally just like laugh at me because I had brought him a list of things that I wanted him to test me for, and I had done extensive research on these things. And he looks at the list and he literally just laughs. And it was like, you don't need these tests. He's like, you're fine. I'll do what I'm going to do. And, you know, then we'll check your blood work. And I'm just like, really? Okay. And then I check my blood work. It's like, oh yeah, everything's fine. You're perfect. I'm like, then why am I getting worse? You know, and then go to the other doctor and turns out she did do all the tests for me. And turns out, oh yeah, actually I do have this and this and this that doctor said I didn't have because he didn't think of it himself. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, it's doctors frustrate me sometimes, but thankfully Dr. Rose is a good one. So, okay. Anyways, little tangent there. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, she wants me to get tested for POTS, so she said it's very likely that I do have it. It's something that I'm not really going to go into it in this video what it is, because then it would just take too long, and if I do end up getting diagnosed with POTS, I will do a video explaining what it is and how it affects me and all that kind of thing. But in the meantime, if you guys are interested, you know, I'll put a link in the description to like a website that explains it, and you can just Google like POTS on, or not Google, but go on YouTube and like do POTS in the POTS, and usually it's capital P, capital O, capital T, capital S. In the search bar, and there's lots of videos that people who have it have already done, talking about their experiences and what it is and all that. So anyways, I'm not going to go into it, but so get tested for that. Okay, moving on. The second thing that she mentioned that we have talked about in the past is something called, I was calling it Babesia, but I think she called it Babesia, maybe? I don't know, I can't remember what she called it, but I do believe I've talked about this in a previous video, but I don't remember. Basically, it is a co-infection with Lyme disease, and it is something that is, when you look it up on Google or whatever, one of the first things comes up is a malaria-like parasite, or a malaria-like disease. I'm like, oh yeah, I basically have something very similar to malaria. Oh, no wonder I'm so sick, you know? And so anyways, we've thought about this for a while, and I was supposed to get tested for it a while ago, but then I ended up getting like really ill with the flu, I think. It wasn't able to make it in, so we're going back now, and she was looking over like the symptom list of basically if you have it, these are all your symptoms and whatnot. And pretty much she was just reading off the list, and we were checking off almost every single one. It was just like, check, 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 yep, I have that, oh yeah, I have that one too. And so she's pretty positive I have this disease. It's just we have to do the test to make sure, you know, and then find out like to what severity and this and that, so we can do the proper treatment for that, because apparently treating that is a very different treatment than when treating Lyme disease. So even though in the past I was treated for Lyme disease, this is completely different. That wouldn't have helped it, so I have to do a whole nother regimen of treatment for this disease. And I am doing at least I'm going to try to do 100% natural, working with my naturopath. She has prescribed like actual medications for me before though, so I don't know if like her take on it is some medications and some like herbs and supplements, or just all herbs and supplements. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. Once that comes through, I'll definitely let you guys know. Okay, so it was that. What else do we talk about? Oh yeah, she's testing me for adrenal fatigue, because just she's like, with all of my health problems and all of the stress I've been under from my health and from personal things for so long, she's like, yeah, she's pretty positive that my adrenals are just dead, basically. So I have to do like a test where 4 times a day, morning, noon, afternoon, and midnight, I have to basically spit into a vial. And it's about, I don't know, that big. And it's 5 milliliters. So I need 5 milliliters of saliva to fill this vial. And then I have to do that 4 times a day. And then after I do that, I send it in. Well, sorry about the shaking, you guys. I'm trying to hold my phone like up on my lap, and I do not have the most steadiest of hands, so I do apologize for that. But yes, adrenal fatigue, so I have to do the spit test basically. That'll get sent into the specialty lab. They will test and let us know. I don't know like how long it takes to get the results back from that, but we'll see. So yeah, adrenal fatigue, so I don't know what the protocol is for treating that. I believe it does have to do with like your diet, and then obviously like some supplements or some herbs or something. I don't know. Okay, let me try and think if there's anything else that we talked about. Oh yeah, she's going to retest my thyroid because I'm just due for a checkup anyways. We just want to make sure that everything is good, that my levels are all where they're supposed to be. And I've been doing okay as far as my Hashimoto's. I think like I haven't been having a lot of symptoms of that. I believe the medication I'm on is at a good level. But it's always good to test it again, and just to be sure, you know, that you are on the right dosage and all that. So we're testing that. She's retesting my ferritin levels, because last time we tested they were quite low. I went on iron for a little bit, and I did start to see some improvements, like my hair stopped falling out, which was huge because I like take a shower, brush my hair, and I get just globs of hair. It's disgusting. But my hair stopped falling out, so that was like a huge thing. But then I got to a point where I just ran out of money and I could no longer afford the supplements. But yeah, it's frustrating. But now I have new insurance. Well, they don't cover supplements, they now cover my doctor. So that's like $120 that I no longer have to pay for out of pocket. So it's $120 that I can put towards medications and supplements and stuff like that. So yay! Thank you, Jesus. I believe that was everything. So we got the pots, the Babesia, or whatever it's called. The ferritin, the thyroid, adrenal fatigue. Yeah, I think that's everything. I was supposed to get my blood drawn the day I saw her, which was Thursday. And unfortunately, I almost passed out on the table. I don't do well with blood draws. Like, I don't know why. I'm not scared of needles. It's not like I am, because I can do shots. Like, shots don't bother me. I never get sick with shots. I'm just like, ow, it kind of hurts, but whatever. But blood draws and IVs are the two things that, like, I will puke when I get these. Like, it's bad. And unfortunately, I don't know if I was a little dehydrated or what, but the vein wasn't showing as well. I literally have one vein in one arm that works, and it works about 50% of the time. And it's very frustrating because sometimes it's like it'll just gush and gush and gush, and other times it's like, nope, I'm gonna hide from you. You can't even find me. So it's not always a very fun experience getting my blood drawn. But anyways, so yeah, she even had to put the blood pressure cuff on me to try and get it tight enough so that that she could get the vein to come out. And then when I was feeling faint and very nauseous, she said that unfortunately that actually makes your veins constrict. And so that, you know, obviously does not help her to get the blood out. And she was able to get the needle in, and as soon as she put the needle in, she's like, darn it, that's what I was afraid of. And I was like, you're not getting any blood? And she's like, nope. I was like, okay, well, I'm not feeling good at all. And so she took the needle out, and she's like, are you going to be okay for me to try again? And I'm like, like, I was like, I am really not feeling well. So then she just bandaged up my arm, and basically I sat there for probably a good 20 minutes, just laying there on the table. They brought me some water, and I just had to, like, let it pass. There's really nothing else I can do but just, like, try and breathe, do breathing. So as I was editing my video to upload it, I realized that my camera randomly just shut off. I don't know why it's been doing that. My phone, it's old and kind of junky, and for some reason it likes to cut off the video before the sound and then cut off the sound altogether before I hit the end button. Sorry about that. And so I'm in a new location now. Sorry guys, but basically what I was saying was the only thing that I can do is some breathing techniques to let it pass on its own. And that was basically it. And then I was just basically going to say, you know, I will keep you guys updated once I find out more information. And I guess thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. I'm hopefully going to be posting more soon about basically just about my different diseases and things like that I deal with. So stay tuned.